Who was I at that time? That's me in the yellow dress, right? Half Mexican, half Kansan, holy fanaterisa, all of 17 years old. I was old enough to recognize it's not very often in life we get really specific advice. Oh my gosh. Yes, that is what he said. My friends, learn Russian. I said, okay, because I had this raging wanderlust, and I knew I wanted to travel far and wide. And so I stuck with this language for 4 years. And then in January 1996, never having seen snow fall from the sky in my life, because I'm from Corpus Christi, I jetted off to Moscow. And so, arriving to Russia at that time, I was just so blown away just by the architecture, by the art, by everything. It was just so exciting. So certainly, initially, I'm kind of playing tourist, but it doesn't take very long for me to start looking around and seeing this is a country really fallen on some very hard times. Why am I here? I'm taking up space in the subway. I'm buying up the last of the bread. Like, I need to do something to warrant the breath that I breathe in this place. So just thinking, but what can I do, right? I'm not a doctor. I don't have any useful skills at all. I'm not an engineer. But what was I trained to do? Okay. I was trained, in addition to speaking Russian, I was also taking these journalism classes. And in journalism, I was trained to take notes. And furthermore, I was also in a place that really has birthed one of the richest literary cultures we have. I was delighted to learn, which every Russian ever told me, whoever found out my birthday was June 6th, like everyone was so excited to have the same birthday as Pushkin. So anyway, so just like all of this like good writer vibe and energy just started to like infiltrate my brain. Anyway, returned back for my last year at UT and learned something very important about wanderlust. I thought that like by traveling it, I'd kind of quench it. But no, right? The more you travel, the more you gotta travel. So when I got back, I had a singular obsession, and that was to get a scholarship that had a plane ticket in it, right? So I literally applied for everything. Graduated in 97, and I then went to Beijing for a year. And my placement in Beijing was with China Daily, which you may know is the English mouthpiece of the Chinese Communist Party. My official title there, foreign expert. Unofficial title, propaganda polisher. That's basically what we did. After my year in Beijing, I hopped on the Trans-Siberian, which I hope that's an adventure all of you get to have someday. It's really extraordinary. Wound up in Berlin. And last stop was Cuba. I got mildly obsessed with communism, actually very obsessed with communism. And it's a legacy that it left behind, right? So after all of that journey, it then, this was the pile of notebooks at the end. The middle row is like the Cuba section. Then it was like, okay, I need to do something with these journals. All right. I then realized I wanted to write a book. Diligence. I didn't become fluent in Russian, but I studied Russian for 4.5 years. I studied Mandarin. I studied Spanish. I spent a year in each of these places. Trying to write things that I feel will in some way benefit a community. And the way to benefit a community is to allow the community to be involved with it at kind of every level. To me, like, All the Agents and Saints is like I'm proudest of that book because like the Mohawk Nation sells it in their gift shop at their library, you know what I mean? So it's like trying to find a way to write that can be of some, or to at least not be of danger, or to at least not be harmful to a community. And literally the way that it can be useful is asking people like, what stories do people need to know about this community? When I went to Russia, I didn't know I was going to write a book, as I mentioned. I was just like taking these little like sensory details, but I wasn't doing interviews. So it's very different. Mm-hmm. It was just conversations that I kind of had like little half-assed notes, notes about, but at the end of the day, like only so detailed. You can't write a hard-hitting nonfiction book in hindsight. You can't. You have to know that going in because that's the way you do the research that you need to do. The only thing you can do like after the fact is a memoir. which is how it felt to you. And so that's what all the editors that rejected the book the first round said, like, this book needs to be about her. So that's how I began to then infuse myself into my work. And now I always write about myself in my work, but it was definitely not my initial impulse at all. Yeah. I mean, Learn Russian was definitely like a really great one. I think that if I could tell myself anything, my younger self anything, it would be to have faith. Because I am incredibly lucky to have really lived exactly the life I wanted to live, but I didn't allow myself to enjoy it fully because I never made any money. I never saved. I never had a pension. I never had health insurance. I never, and I was so hung up on that like I didn't get to like fully inhabit the joy. I wish that I had more faith in my path, that I wish I had more faith in my work, that my work would have meaning to someone beyond my grandmother. I wish that I had been able to enjoy it a bit more. So I think that we need to take that and not sacrifice short-term for long-term, not get stuck in these dead-end jobs that, and I'm speaking to the choir, right? Like y'all are studying post-Soviet studies and studying like East, you know what I mean? Like you're clearly doing what you want to
do. Maybe we'll all get to hang out in Austin one day.
Ooh, I would love that. I cannot wait to go home. Oh my God. Yeah.
That'd be great.